All right. We've got a lot of GST stuff this week. So let's start with our Naughty Corner story because we've talked about this a number of times, but it looks like we're getting to a bit of a point where there might be some action going on with the whole GST fraud scheme with a whole lot of arrests potentially coming up.
Yeah, exactly right. So we've spoken about the joint action between the ATO and the AFP called Operation Protego. And this is essentially cracking down on GST fraud. So they've warned that they've already arrested 87 people over billions in GST fraud, and this is just the start. And there's many more to come. So they've also issued warrants against 10 people suspected of promoting the fraud on social media.
So let's just go back and remind everyone what this is about. And it came across our desk, I think it was probably about a year and a bit ago.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe 12 months ago.
Yeah, where what people were doing, there was actually a social media campaign going out about saying how there's a really easy way to get money out of the government. And so people were going in and registering for ABNs falsely, or possibly just having an ABN but hadn't really used it. And then they were going and registering for GST, and then they were lodging fake business activity statements. So they were suggesting that they'd sold a little bit and bought a whole lot of stuff. And as you know, if you've ever lodged a business activity statement, you pay the GST on the stuff that you've sold and you get credits for the stuff that you've purchased. And if you do get more credits than you get than what you've sold, which can sometimes be the case, particularly at the start of a business, or if you've bought a significant asset, you'll get a refund.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
right.
Completely legitimate, so long as the expenses are legitimate.
Exactly. And the business that you are putting in is legitimate as well. So these people were actually promoting this on social media, which is it's wild. It actually baffles me.
Yeah, so I think it's also a little bit, just looking at the media around this, particularly from the professional bodies or from people who work in the industry, they're a little confused how so much refund was actually allowed to get out, because they reckon that there was $2.5 billion worth of wrongful refunds issued. I find that really surprising because there should be integrity checks there from the ATO as well. If I do tend to lodge a BAS where I'm expecting a large refund, which is usually the situation if, say, someone's bought a commercial property, and that does have GST on it, and then we will claim that GST back and there will be a significant refund. I always say to them, give me all the information. I'll be getting a phone call from the ATO. I need to verify all the information. But clearly This hasn't been the case.
Yeah, exactly right. So they are cracking down on it, and they are saying that anyone that has previously done this or been involved to please come forward. And they're not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, so if you have somehow got caught up in this scheme, I would suggest that you might be worth getting a little bit of legal advice. Should you come forward? Should you go back to the ATO and just say, hey, look, I'm really sorry. You definitely will need to pay that money back. If you know someone who's in that situation, maybe suggest that they talk to someone about it. I don't know the answer. I'm not a cop. I'm not the AFP. And what have you. I just know that it's the wrong thing. It is considered a crime. It's not just a crime against the ATO. It's a crime against the whole of Australia, because this is money that is for Australia, not for the ATO. So, yeah, have a think about it and see what you can do.
Definitely.